United States republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We lost it. We lost it. Are we recording?
Well, we have a new town manager too.
Oh.
Okay, Brandon's out.
Deputy director of what?
So Suzanne's gonna be taking his notes for him. Okay, agenda review, is there anything on the agenda that anyone would like to move?
Yeah, I need to postpone the review of the minutes that I forgot to make corrections to.
The 10, 11, 10 ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
On 11, then we got the next ones, yeah.
You can, yeah,
We
we
ain't
can
there
still
yet.
look at the 24 ones.
She hasn't called them up yet, though.
No. That the only thing that needs to be changed on the agenda? Okay. Any comments from the select board members for anything not on the agenda?
And we wish Ray a happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
The town manager has nothing, he's not here. Citizens, any citizens that have anything that's not on the agenda?
Just real quick, it's not on the agenda, but 130 Maple Street has been purchased, the town does own it now. We are putting locks on the door, and in the spring, we plan on tearing it down. We're working on the scope of work and getting out of bid soon, just for an update.
Chris?
That's the one that's right on the brook, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
If you said the address again, Ray, 110 Maple?
130. And that's a FEMA buyout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's review the minutes from 11/24 meeting. Motion to accept the minutes from 11/24.
So move. Second.
Any discussion?
At the beginning, I think it says, Nathan McNaughton is present via Zoom. He just showed up late, didn't he?
Yeah, I showed up late.
So just get rid of that. And that's about the only thing I have.
Item 9D, it refers to the boat pit, which I think was the sand pit.
The
Yeah,
Bow,
it's
Bow.
called-
BOW,
Yeah.
BOW. Yeah.
the Weathersfield Bow Sand Pit.
I was wondering what that was. Okay.
I mean, even if you hear bow sand pit, that doesn't give you a whole lot of
Yeah.
Yes.
information. On 11B, it was 164 towns rep. I mean, it's diddly little
Mm-hmm.
stuff. 12B, it just wasn't clear to me, the sentence, it says a research phase, and I just wondered whether it was supposed to be the research phase or sounded like there were more than one research phases on that, so again,
A
trivial.
research phase of what?
I'd have to go back to what 12.
Well, that's what the minute should,
That was
the
on the-
minute should identify that though.
It has to do with the capital plan, all the research into the different options, and
Okay, so it's just the cap.
I think it
Okay,
refers
all right,
to
then
the
it's fine.
capital plan.
The A or the I don't think it matters, does it?
Not really. Okay,
Yeah.
should we vote on those then?
No,
You're still doing,
11E, it says a member of the public present,
oh, yeah.
that was
Yes.
Patty Arison.
Yeah,
Was it?
I saw that too. Patty.
I knew she didn't know who it was.
And that last name is capital ARRISON.
AR, is that some,
John.
John's wife.
that's what I thought, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I did see that one.
Yeah, I did too. But I knew she must not have known who it was.
Under appointments, Michael Todd moves to appoint Darlene Johnson. To what?
What?
To Veterans
The
Memorial.
Veterans Memorial
Yeah,
Committee.
yes.
That it?
Yes.
Motion to accept the minutes with the changes from 11:24.
Motion's already been made.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, well, 11:10 will be on the next meeting. There's no town manager update. The vast request for landowner permission to use Pleasanton Field. I guess they met with the demands. Does anyone have any questions on that?
Yeah, I have a question on this map. I assume that this orange line designates their travel corridor, but it's not labeled in any way to. Because the same orange line is in an area that says keep out, please, so I'm not sure what this means. If this is the corridor that we're agreeing to, it should be, I would like to see it labeled as such.
Yeah, just add a line.
I think it's just highlighted to let you know that they don't,
I think what they're showing you is the fence,
yeah.
where the fence is going,
That's what
and
the
then
pole-
everything to the left is where they need to be, and they can't be much further than what that orange line near stripe is. Because they'll be in a swamp if they do.
But we shouldn't have to guess. This map was supposed to
That's
designate.
not the map that I drew on. I don't think, I had another map that I provided, it was. Can I look at that, please?
You certainly can. Having been in the permitting business for a long time,
Yes.
the permission is subject to the additional terms and conditions listed below. And it says, see attached letter from the town manager and map. Neither of those have any indication as to what letter and what map. Needs to be more specific. It should be a letter dated whatever, or a map described as attachment A, attachment B, and they should be labeled in some way so that we know that those two documents belong to this permission slip.
So I was asked to draw a line on a map as to show the snowmobile club what the border was that we didn't want them to cross. And that's what this map is.
But we don't know that. It looks like the travel corridor.
And it's a fence with the arrows pointing that way. And it says, keep out on this side of the field, so it's a pretty simple map, and they've already put the flags up and they already where the flag. So it's not.
I don't like the
A
map.
narrow
I
corridor,
don't-
we just wanted them to stay from that line over to the property line, which.
Clearly, it took your explanation for us to understand.
Correct.
For me, I'm only speaking for me, to understand that map. So I don't accept that map. I would
Okay.
like more explanation. Written on it and then labeled attachment B or attachment A, and the letter should be so labeled as well.
But this isn't zoning.
I know
This
this.
is just the map I drew for the snowmobile club, so know where they put the
So
fence.
where's the map that she's supposed to go with this?
I don't know, this is the only map I've drawn, this is the only map that I did, and this was drawn for the snowmobile club. Just to know where to put the post, if you need something else, I can.
Is there another map?
Is this letter attached in the packet?
Well,
Yes.
nothing's attached.
Well,
It's online,
So in the letter,
December 2nd.
December 2nd, it states the stipulations to the VAST, and it says. Under number 2, designated pathway requirements, VAST must flag a clearly defined pathway across Hoisington Field consistent with the route shown on the attached map.
Which doesn't designate anything, as it's not labeled as a travel corridor. You're saying that shows where they're not supposed to be.
This
I understand what
line
you're saying.
has arrows pointing that way towards the property line.
Yeah.
And that's that whole corridor is what they can use, and then it says keep out please on the rest of the field. It was a very simple map just for the snowmobile club, if you want something more detailed, I can draw something else.
I just want it labeled that that's what it means.
Okay,
That's all I'm asking.
yeah, I didn't know this was gonna be the map, the official map, I thought this was just a drawing for the snowmobile club, so they put their fence where they wanted to. And then I went down and looked at it, and it is where it wants to be,
Okay.
and I didn't update on that, but I can do that.
Can I see that map?
We should have it in your cabinet.
I've got it right there. But I can't write on that one.
That's irrelevant, Mike. It's
You
not
should
part
have
of
right
the
to write on it.
Oh, yeah, whatever you guys need, I just, like I said,
What did you call it, Forrest?
travel corridor. Is that what you're asking? I don't know what you're asking.
It's a snowmobile trail is what it is.
Well, they're supposed to identify the trail across the field.
Mm-hmm.
that's meaningless, unless it's on the packet that you have as the official record.
Well, yeah, it can be made, this can be adopted as an official record. This board has the authority to do
Well,
that.
you must have the copy, the original.
She has the same thing we have, that's what that is.
Where's the original?
We don't have the original.
There must be an original of this. Who's got it?
Yeah, right.
So this was the.
This is the-
So do you wanna substitute that for the map that's in here, or do you wanna write on this one?
Oh, either way.
But this is the one that's gonna
I'll
go
do,
with the application.
whatever makes it work. I don't disagree with what you're saying, we just wanna get it on there.
But we just need to write it on
It needs to be
that.
on this
Write it on that,
No.
that's the one we're gonna.
Okay.
Please, thank you. Please, thank you.
That's me.
Okay, so that was just an information, thing, right?
Oh, we have
Sorry to
already.
be, that one's signed.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I signed it.
Yeah, so this is just an FYI.
Yeah,
That I.
Yeah.
marked up.
but we wanna make sure it's right if it's gonna,
I just wanted
It's
to
gonna
label
work.
this, this is where you're gonna go.
and it's only for a year.
Right,
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
saw that,
yeah.
I saw that.
Was there any, so what I did was I put a second line on the other side of the arrows with things to make it look like a corridor. And call it a snowmobile trail. That work?
Yep.
I used to be president of that club at one time.
Sorry for the, that's just what I do for the Sawmill Club, you know, where to put the fence.
It's just an extra line at the tip of the arrows. And then I wrote.
Just shows
snowmobile
where
trail.
they're gonna go.
Yeah,
What we're agreeing to.
Yeah.
I'm very happy, we're happy.
I'm happy now.
Okay. Summer on-call policy, this is Ray.
Yes. So I had brought this up,
Wait, hold on a second. That map that I just gave you. What's today's date?
eight,
Put the 8th on there. And I make a motion to amend that map to that document dated December the 8th.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
I just wanted to get the formality out of the way on that, because we did change the map, so.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Ray.
that's fine. So this summer on-call policy is in reference to. Right now, you don't have any policy for having anybody on call at all during the summer months. Usually they are on call just from winter, we call it November 15th or November 1st, until the end of months. Usually every weekend, we have a discussion and find out who's gonna be where, if they're gonna be around. And that's getting harder to do in the last few years. We now have 5 people instead of 8. So it's not. It's not as easy to find somebody that's around to be able to respond. You can listen to this, you don't have to vote at all.
Listen, I've already heard it at the budget committee, but
Oh.
we're talking about
So-
planning the highway department.
So, I'm trying to develop this, it doesn't have to be a policy, it started out as a discussion about a policy, I brought it up last summer. No money in the budget, Brandon asked me to bring it up this budget cycle, I did. This is something I had written a while ago. It could be a procedure, however it wants to be handled. I think it's important to have people on call each week. So we know we're guaranteed that I can find somebody to go in, so I'm not going in by myself or nobody else is going by themselves. That's very dangerous, especially late at night, if there's a tree down, nobody should be out with a chainsaw by themselves. It would be a very. It's hard to explain, it would be very, a relief to the employees to know that it was not their week. They could go out to dinner and have a drink with their wife, or get invited out for a boat cruise on the lake and go and not worry about the phone ringing. I wouldn't have to worry about them calling me on a Friday to say, hey, Ray, I'm gonna take off and go to Keene. Or I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go there. They won't have to worry about it if it's not their week.
Mhm.
I also think it's important to pay them for sacrificing that time to be close to the shop and be in town and be guaranteed to be able to come in to work during the summer. It's a given that we do it for the winter months. Everybody's on call, we don't take vacations. This year, I'm really trying to not have a plow route, so I can be the backup plow driver. If somebody has an illness or gets hurt or, needs time off, I can jump in their truck and I can jump and do their plow route. This will be the first winter I won't be able to do that. I just wanna know your opinion and thoughts. Some people think it's, crazy to get paid to, even if you don't have a call. But I think it's important to reimburse them for the time that they're giving to not go out to dinner and have that drink, or stay within a half an hour to 40 minutes of the shop for that week. It'll be a Monday through Monday cycle. They'll have a phone. If they're gonna be on vacation that week, they'll have to figure out who else to get to cover for them. There'll also be coverage for the transfer station. If somebody's on vacation that week, or somebody calls in sick or gets hurt, God forbid, and has to leave the facility, they would be called to go cover at that facility. It would just, I think it's a strong policy. I think it's a good way to show that we're gonna be prepared for an emergency. We really do not want a beaver tube to get plugged up on a Friday, nobody to be able to respond for a few hours. The next thing you know, half the lane is gone because the water's come up and taken out half the road. Any questions? Forgive me for not presenting this very well. I'm a little tired.
Yeah, currently, is this to apply to the entire year? This is just the summer months?
Just the summer
So
months.
during the winter months, I guess nobody, are you saying everybody's on call all
Correct.
the time?
It's,
So
that's what we expected, that's what we do. This is just to guarantee that you have two people that are able and fit and ready to go to work. If there's a call from, let's say, May 15th or May 1st to November 1st.
So do none of you drink for 6 months?
They are very cautious, yes. I mean, you go to
That's
really, to go out on a boat or take your child for a hike on Mount Scutney and you're out an hour into the woods and your phone rings, they feel obligated to come to the call. But then again, they're doing it all winter. It's nice to be able to give them a break in the summer, to be guaranteed to know that week is their week off, or 2 weeks in a row, or their 2 weeks off. They can go out and do something and enjoy life a little bit before they come back to the winter chaotic season. That's what this is about.
Well, I got questions.
Just a quick point of information.
Go ahead.
Nathan, I think is on,
Yeah, I see Nathan's joined us online.
if you wanna.
Oh, you keep bouncing around up there.
Yeah, I'm here. I just can't figure out how to change my daughter's name on my computer. I don't know how she did that. Sorry.
I just wanted to make sure we had it for the record that you're here.
So I guess my first question would be, when they get called out for an on-call on a weekend or whenever it is, or after hours, do they get, if they're only out for 20 minutes, do they get paid a set amount of hours?
There's a minimum amount.
Of-
Right now, there's an existing policy. So
How many? 3?
Correct.
So they get paid for 3 hours.
Correct.
So when you're on call, you want us to pay you 150 plus the 3 hours and plus whatever more it takes.
That is the policy right now. If you think that needs to change for the summer months.
I'm just wrote my questions
So
down.
right now, if they don't get a call and they're sacrificing their time by being around, being available, being fit to go to work, they're gonna get $150. If the phone rings, they have to go to work and follow the policy just like you would.
150 plus time and a half.
That you get 3 hours.
Yeah, time and a half. Okay.
And the reason it is 3 hours, it covers your drive time. Sometimes it's only a 20-minute job, sometimes it's an hour. That's just a standard. A lot of towns do
My
it
next
that way.
question. How many times in the last 2 years, not counting catastrophic events, have we actually had to use someone on call?
How many like in the summer?
Yeah,
Probably at least 8 or 9 times a summer
in 2 years?
in a year.
And what do they get called out to do exactly?
Trees down, there's a car accident, fire department needs signs, the beaver plugged up a tube and it's flooding the road.
We go out for the fire department?
Yeah. They're on Center Road, they need signs and detour signs, and we have to go help them. Mostly it's trees down.
Okay, that was my questions. Mike?
My first one is, where is the language for the on-call winter season located?
There is none.
I thought you said that was in policy.
It's somewhere, I've read
For
it.
the winter, you're
Commonly
on,
accepted that when we're hired, we're commonly accepted that you are on call and available, and vacations are not really allowed during those months, and that's what's expected of you when you might get hired. It's not in the policy.
well,
There is
we
no.
would have somewhat of a hard time enforcing that one way if it's not written in policy.
Okay, yeah,
That's not a policy.
It's not in policy.
no,
It's expected and everybody does it.
To be honest, I think all of this needs review to fit into a policy. That's my take on it. I see it evolving into winter as well, if you did it just for the summer, and I mean,
I would argue against that because then you're paying everybody something to be on call, and it's what we're hired to do, and we all signed up for it.
then I would go back to my first instinct is that's 12 months of the year. Not 6 or just winter. If it's not in policy, then you're being hired and you're on call whenever there's an emergency.
It might be in the job description for highway, because that's.
I've seen it somewhere.
It is in the job description about winter months and being on call.
I thought I saw it somewhere.
It's not in a policy.
Well, but bringing this up, I think begs the question to go revisit. That a job description is part of policy.
Mhm.
I would say that's part of a policy discussion, that it would need review.
It's very specific to highway, because other employees wouldn't fall under that policy. I think that's why it was in the job description, because it's specific to that department, what they do, and the winter months are just different. Because you're out of.
I can't accept, this is when people go on vacation, because I know a lot of people like to get out of here in the winter, take their warm week vacation and go to Florida or the Bahamas or something. You said that the budget committee had reviewed this already?
We had, it was presented.
I'm online if I'm.
Well, Beth is in the room and started speaking already.
Yeah, it was presented to us and we wanted to, before we had an opinion, we wanted to hear Ray's presentation. And yeah, so we didn't form an opinion. Right.
August?
Yes, Beth had a good point, and I just wanted to add to that. We did receive the draft at our first meeting on December 1st. And we also, when it goes to the budget, we can talk a little bit about the highway budget. But we did raise questions over this, and we did see in the budget that members of the highway department received pay raises in the middle part of the year, in addition to the COLA increase of 3.5%. So we need to be clear when we look at the highway department and the costs. There are insurance costs, personnel insurance costs that are going up over 6%. Between the increases that occurred this summer and the COLA increases, you're looking between 6% and even over 9% for specific employees. The other things that are built into the budget is a healthy overtime portion of that highway budget, over 40,000. And some of the other questions that we plan on discussing at the next meeting, because we did ask for a highway budget without the capital plan versus with the capital plan option, so we could really provide our best advisory feedback collectively. But some of those other questions are, can the taxpayers afford a entirely new stipend program, and the precedent that could set for other departments? In addition, it's not just a 3.5% COLA increase. The increased pay occurred in multiple stages for the highway department, this year. So I just wanted to give that little bit of context. I hope that helps, Madam Chair, and I'll stay online if there are any other questions that I can answer.
Thank you.
Kelly,
Yeah.
also in the letter in the record, the policy, the recommendation. It shows the $150 per week stipend for 2 employees assigned to on-duty call. So that's 2 employees, $300 a week for 26 weeks, 24 weeks. It didn't give that total, $300.
$7,800, I believe.
72.
Almost
72.
$7,200. That increase alone, for the highway department exceeds the overall difference between the 2.8 and 3.5% that we gave in the COLA. The difference between the 2.8 and 3.5 COLA for everybody in town was 6,000 something. Remember? Oh, that's right, you can't. You can say I remember. I don't remember exactly what it was, but that's why I made the motion. The difference was like 62, 63, 65, something like that. I forget exactly what it was. But that's the difference between 2.8 and 3.5 for everybody. This is 7,200 for 5 people that it's going to be broken up over. It's not the whole staff, it's just the 5 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of understand the idea, but I think
The amount could be reduced. That's where I started at.
I lean more towards the policy existing for the entire year. And just you're on call, and that's part of the job. And I mean, we try to take care of our employees very well. We don't ignore them. And again, I'm going to say, I've said this before too. The other half that we have to take care of, which is a pretty big half, are the taxpayers. That's this. We just keep plucking money out of their pocket. We can't do that. Not in today's. Everything's going up and up and up, and I get it. But we already went over on the COLA that I'm not going to see. Mine's gone. I'm in the hole on mine. Of course, I'm still working, so it's not an issue. But as far as my Social Security goes, I've gone backwards with all the increases. And I'm not the only one out there. And there may be other people that live in this town that are elderly, that are on a fixed income, that are not as fortunate as me, that can make that difference up. And they're going in the wrong direction. We can't just keep piling on and piling on and piling on. I appreciate the thought and the conception, but I don't think I can support this, Ray. I'm sorry.
That's good. Appreciate your feedback.
Kelly?
Go ahead, Beth.
I
I was just looking to see if anyone had their hands up. I can't see them sometimes.
do I need to stand up or can Ray start?
Yeah, you can stand up. The owl might be able to hear you better.
Okay. My question for Ray is that I understand how this works because I ran a veterinary practice and my staff is on call 365 days a week. I'd like to see an analysis where perhaps you increase the minimum hours paid. And that would be their bonus for calling out some sort of, make it, they would still have to be assigned a week or a week call. And so 2 people would be on call and 3 people would have off. And I'd like to see what would happen if, we increased it from a 3-hour to 4-hour minimum. Dollar wise, and if maybe that would be more palatable.
Yeah, but we can't find it where it shows 3 hours yet.
I think I know what she's saying, Rika. I'm not sure you grasped it. Instead of the 150, increase the 3-hour minimum to 4-hour minimum, and eliminate the stipend. I think that's what you were proposing.
Yeah. I do, that's what I did with my staff. The bonus was, even if they were in my office for 10 minutes, they got paid a minimum 4 hours. That was their bonus for being on call. But that was me.
August. I see the hand.
Thank you, Chair. And this time I'll speak in my personal capacity, not as chair of the budget committee. I would just say that, you know, policies take 3 readings. I think we've made sure that the highway department is well supported. I know in the past several years, we've made sure they have the equipment they need. And I know that this year, really diligent efforts were made by the select board and by the town manager to make sure that their compensation increased. I do know that there are many things you can do in terms of managing expectations for employees. And you can look at the structure of your work week, you know, 4-day work week versus 5-day work week versus rolling shifts to have coverage. And you also have that very healthy overtime compensation. And that's really a great way of taking care of folks in the highway department who have to get up in the middle of the night because of a storm. I personally don't feel right now we're facing major increases across the budget with insurance, and then not to mention the school budget. I don't think this is the year personally for a new stipend program. I think there are other ways of compensating them within the existing structures, and we've not had a stipend before for this manner. So I advise personally against it. Thank you.
What about you, Nathan? You're awful quiet.
I know it's kind of a luxury, right? I'm just kind of processing. I mean, I guess the question, it may have been answered before I jumped on, would be, what is this something that is standard practice in towns in the region, or is it not standard practice? Is this right? I'm just trying to understand because I don't know if it is standard practice. I get conceptually what Ray's asking. I also hear what other folks are saying.
Well, it's something we don't have to decide tonight. It'll probably be by the next meeting, one week.
Well, I think, I'm sorry, didn't Nate ask a question of Ray? Wanted to know if
He
it,
wants to know if any other towns do it.
I'll just wait.
I'd like to hear that answer.
Yeah.
Yes, other towns, I know Springfield does, on call, it's $75 each person, but it's year round. I'm trying to avoid that because everybody's on call in the winter. If, we need to go out and salt, a lot of times I'll go out and salt, or I'll call Alex and he'll come in, or Evan will come in. Not everybody has to come in because different things have to happen at different times. It's not everybody has to come in and salt. I'm more than willing to withdraw this. I know there's a lot going on. Like I said, I've been working on, I brought this up over a year ago, and I know it's budget cycle, so I brought it up again, and Brandon had asked me to explain it to you folks so you understood what was going on. I fully understand why it's not a good time to even discuss this, and I can withdraw this. I have no problem with that. It's something I've been trying to do because I know I really want to appoint 2 people to be in charge to get a phone call for the week. And I don't think it's fair to do that without giving them some kind of a benefit to that. I could just keep doing it the way we're doing, and hopefully I can get people to come in, you know, like we've been doing. Just call them and just figure out who's available every weekend or at night. It's not life ending.
Yeah, you can see your hand down there, Mike. Okay. This table needs to be different. You can't see.
Angle, yes, I'll sit back, so.
I'm not gonna ask you to withdraw it at this time, even though I'm not in support of it. Brandon's not here. Brandon hasn't heard these comments. Brandon's a wizard with the funds and the money. If y'all can come up with a way that works, that doesn't, you know, hit the budget. Then I think, you know, that might be something we can work with. One of my thoughts is, maybe it's time off for those people that are on that week. Just, you know, where they get, if you're on call this week, you're on a 36-hour work week. If you come in for 20 minutes, there's your 4 hours. Or I don't know, that seems like it's going backwards, I guess, but you know, I get what you're saying, but it's not really going backwards because they got time off, they come in for 20 minutes and they got paid for 4 hours.
Well,
It's kind of combining some ideas.
Right. I understand and I greatly appreciate the going above the COLA this year. That was huge. The insurance, having 3 options was really big. I'm not trying to be greedy, but I wanted to bring it up and find out where people are at. I'm not gonna argue and spit and cuss and be upset about this. This is something that I've been thinking about for a few years and I just wanted to get a feel for where you're at. This is the draft. I want you to look at it. I want you to ask questions. It's like I said, it's not life ending to have it not happen. It's not an emergency. It's
Well, like my point, if I may kind of continue, I don't think you need to drop it at this point. Let Brandon come out and hear what these comments were and stuff, and maybe it's just something we're working on through, moving forward. And that's not saying it's.
and just to go on record, I have developed this. This is not something that has been coming from the employees. It's something that I'm trying to do to benefit the employees in the summertime. So they can get guaranteed time off, not stress out. And I'm trying to figure out how to do it. And I was just basically looking for input. They've got more ideas. Maybe it's a lesser amount of money. Maybe I don't know. Maybe just think about it, please.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be this, but this is what I came up with.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're right.
Okay, Brandon sent us drafts of the highway department. He wants you to look at it. And he sent 3 capital plans that he wants us to look at it and be ready for any input at the next meeting on the 22nd. Nothing we have to discuss or make a decision on tonight.
The only comment I would have, and maybe it's here, and I'm just, option 3 is just the straight up budget, correct?
What I thought it looked like.
Is that what it's supposed to represent?
I think so,
Yeah.
because he presented this at the budget committee. So that's if you don't, I'm pretty sure it's if you don't do a capital plan.
It says budget 1 is full capital funding.
Mhm.
So that's,
2 is the cost of line and 3 is no capital plan.
yeah,
Audrey, did I have that right?
yeah, that's what it says in our package too.
Yeah.
Rika?
And of course I did I write it down on a piece of paper? No, I wrote it down someplace else. Oh, there it is. So am I correct in understanding then that the difference in the total payout, the total expenses, through fiscal year 45, which was one of the handouts we got maybe last week?
Yeah.
Is a difference between $9,697. And yes, this one. Beth, I don't know. Just say familiarity if you've seen that one. The presumably what this shows is the difference in what it's gonna cost us over time. Is that correct?
Yes.
So.
What the capital plan cost us?
Yeah.
Yeah, that the
Option 1, 2,
fully
3.
funded would be $9,697,000, or so let's say 98,000. The compromise would be 9,740, and the no funding would be 12,400.
12.
Sorry, 12. Yes.
12,000, we wish.
I had that, right? Okay, so I just wanted to be sure that I had that.
Yeah,
clear.
you have that right.
So, and I was thinking, well,